let's jump into the massive history of Nick Fury, including everything from the Howling Commandos, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and today. So if you don't already follow me here on Instagram, Facebook, drop a subscription, drop a like, drop a comment, do the whole thing. More of that at the end, but ring that bell, drop a like, helps the algorithm. We're going to jump into it. Basically, I've done other characters before. I've done all the TMNT crossovers. I've done all the history of Hawkman. I've done Silver Surfer, and now we're back to Marvel. We're doing a Nick Fury breakdown. So this is going to be the history of Nick Fury as a character, but also all the books and key issues and key points that relate to him as a character. So this is kind of a major reading order in a sense. So we're going to start off with Sergeant Fury and the Howling Commandos, number 1 in 1963. Not only his first appearance of Nick Fury, but also his group, the Howling Commandos, Dum Dum Dugan, Happy Sam Sawyer, Gabe Jones, Rebel Rayston, Dino Maniel, and Junior Jupiter. Created by the two godfathers of the Marvel Universe, Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, starting off in their own series. According to Lee, the reason this book even exists is because of a bet with publisher Martin Goodman, and that the Kirby and Lee duo wouldn't last with the worst possible title, and somehow they came up with this title. I don't know why they thought it was terrible, but I don't know if I really believe in 2007 Stan Lee or Stan Lee at any really point in time in interviews. But the actual book follows Fury and his commandos set up in European camps battling primarily World War II related fights. The series would chug along with issue 3, having Reed Richards' pre-cosmic rays show up in a fun little crossover as a scientific tag-along. In the next issue, Junior Jupiter is killed in a battle with Lord Haha. He wouldn't come back. He's actually a lot of the characters in the series, if they die, they're dead. Lord Haha also dies, in case you were wondering. Ironically, the next appearance of Fury is actually in Fantasy 4 number 21. It's set in the 60s with an all-new villain, Hatemonger. Fury is also now a colonel in the CIA and has to cure the FF of Hatemonger's hate rays. Back to Sergeant Fury and the Howling Commandos, issue number 5. Baron Strucker makes his first appearance as a lifelong Nick Fury villain and a Hydra member. Later on, at least. Number 8, first Percival Pinkerton, who would replace Jupiter, and is also tied with Avengers number 6 for the first Baron Heinrich Zemo, who would later die and in the 60s and be replaced with a long line of Zemos. But both books came out the same week, so they're kind of tied for the first appearance. And he's in both books primarily. Number 10, in 1965, first Captain Savage, who would later have his own title, and all the way in 1969, Captain Savage and his Battlefield Raiders. Number 11, Fury would cross over into the title. I think he's also number 12 as well, if I remember correctly. Issue 13, going back to Sergeant Fury again, Cap and Fury would team up for the first time and stop some Nazis on a slave labor train. Kirby would also leave the title after this issue, ironically leaving with his other creation crossing over Captain America. Issue 27 would be 1966. This issue, Fury loses his eye and the origin of the iconic eye patch. He actually didn't have it prior to this, and it's another addition to the team. We pick up pilot Eric Young. The next issue would be Stan Lee's final issue on the run of Fury, and in 29, Roy Thomas would take over. At this point, modern day Fury stories had kind of started, and we'll get into that a bit in a moment. But in issue 34, the origin of the Commandos, well, the Commandos exist prior, but this is them recruiting Fury onto their team. The book would take on many writers and artist teams at the time, and the title would remain action-based and would bleed in the questions of morality and right and wrong. Late issues would reprint classic 60s issues, all starting at the 80 and alternating with original stories back and forth until issue 121 through 167, which are all reprints of previously published issues. The Marvel mini-book Sergeant Fury from 1966 is a 66 penny-sized comic. It was 10 pages, and literally it's the size of a penny. It's like in gumball machines. And they made these for many heroes in several different colors, but it's a really tough find. Impossible. They're tiny as hell, but the 10 pages also include a black and white origin of Nick Fury. And we're going to move away from Sergeant Fury and the Howling Commandos to Strange Tales 135 in 1965. Like I said, at this point, we have modern Fury stories because Fury here joins S.H.I.E.L.D., and S.H.I.E.L.D. and Hydra would first appear. Fury and S.H.I.E.L.D. split the title Strange Tales all the way until 168, where Nick Fury becomes a spy instead of a sergeant at war, pretty much. Strange Tales 141 is first appearance of the Fixer and first Metallo. Early villains for S.H.I.E.L.D. who would reoccur throughout the Strange Tales title. 144, first Jasper Sitwell, who's an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. Strange Tales 146, first appearance of AIM, an early program of early enemy program of S.H.I.E.L.D. and kind of like Hydra is in a way. Also, first entity cover, and it's revealed to be Clea's name on the Strange side of stuff. So, like I said, he would share the title with Doctor Strange throughout Strange Tales for a while. In issue 151, still in 1966, first Jim Steranko artwork for Marvel. Steranko's synonymous with Fury, especially as we chug into the 70s. So that'll be important as we get into his own series. But Strange Tales 159 is first contestant Valentine Allegro. She is a love interest for Nick Fury and another recurring character in the Fury stories from now pretty much till roughly present. She's also showed up in the MCU already. Strange Tales 163, first Clay Quartermain, who's another recurring S.H.I.E.L.D. member and friend of Nick Fury. Strange Tales 176, bleeding into 1968 now, the last Sergeant Fury cover, and it's Contessa's first cover appearance. The following issue would be the last run for Strange Tales with Nick Fury. Now we move on, still in 1968, Nick Fury Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. #1 would come out. The same year, Fury upgrades back into his own title, kicking off with a new villain, Scorpio, and more consistent Steranko goodness. Now, Steranko wouldn't do every issue, but he would be a staple of the series. The next issue, Jimmy Woo gets dusted off and joins S.H.I.E.L.D. He's not the character that exists prior to S.H.I.E.L.D. Issue #4 has that iconic cover, but of course, Steranko, really being these early covers, are iconic from this run, and especially #7, with the inspiration from that famous painting. And the short series would end in 1971 with an 18-issue series, Silver Surfer style. Both series had ended with 18 issues. We'll move on all the way to 1976. Marvel Spotlight #31. The Infinity Formula is introduced, which is an IV drip Fury takes, which basically keeps him young and alive from World War II to today. It's basically what keeps him. It's like the super soldier serum, but it just keeps Nick Fury young and healthy, pretty much. That's why he doesn't look like a shriveled old man. Marvel 201, 26 and 27, Nick Fury and The Thing have a 2-issue team-up where they fight the Fixer Metallo into the future, and then Deathlok helps out because why not? Defenders #46 in 1977, Nick Fury would have his life model decoy for the first time, his first appearance of his life model decoys, which is another thing that would reappear throughout his many series. And Fury would actually show up throughout the Defenders as well many times, but the life model decoy, Max Fury as he's known, is a very important bit of Fury history because again, that would kind of become a staple of his character. But again, Fury would show up over and over again in the Defenders line, with issue 48 to issue 50 being the Scorpio arc, where it's revealed that Nick Fury's brother, Jacob Fury, is actually Scorpio, one of his arch nemesis. Defenders #58, Nick Fury has to battle 5 LMDs of himself as a gag from Clay Quartermain. Fun little issue there. Hulk Comic Weekly, the UK series. Nick Fury would be a backup comic strip of this. The first 19 issues are original stories. Afterwards, they're all reprints. But this will be coming out around that same time, and they're great foreign. I do believe like I said, the first 19 issues are all original stories that have never been reprinted over here. But afterwards, they're all reprints. Marvel Team Up number 82 and 85. Well, 82 through 85. Which would be the first story where we really get to see the lines blurred behind the scenes of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Viper's infiltrated and turned S.H.I.E.L.D. on its head. Something that will happen more times to come. Wolverine and Nick Fury, the Scorpio connection. #1, this was a great read. First appearance of the second Scorpio, who is revealed not to be Nick Fury's dead brother, but actually Fury's son. It's a little bit gut-wrenching Nick Fury history there. Marvel Comics presents 77 through 79 Fury backup stories during that Weapon X era includes Sergeant Fury versus Dracula, which they also team up to fight some Nazis, so what more do you want? And then at this point, it's 1998, and Nick Fury has his own solo movie, a TV film that was pretty ridiculous.
Fury.
Nick, yesterday Hydra stormed Trinity Base.
Against Hydra, there is no shield.
And from here, Fury would have several miniseries where he battles S.H.I.E.L.D. He ends up crossing over with Cap, Black Widow, Wolverine, and a bunch more, but really nothing too game-changing for quite a while. We're going to fast forward from 98 all the way to 2008. And here, Secret Invasion #1 would come out. The Skrulls invade Earth, and no one could trust anyone. And of course, Super Spy Nick Fury is a big part of this event. And this would lead into a show coming out on Disney Plus of the same name, where Nick Fury is the main character. Original Sins #1 in 2014. We're just going to skip ahead again. And the Man on the Wall is a dude who sits on the moon and fends off invasions because the Watcher's dead or something. It's very murky. Eventually, in this story, Fury leaks out some secrets and is revealed to be the killer of the Watcher. He ended up killing himself. And Bucky replaces him as the Man on the Wall. Fury also doesn't have the Infinity Formula, and so he uses life bottle decoys a lot in this story and ends up replacing Uatu, calling himself the Unseen. Fury is still the Unseen, even though Uatu is now alive in current comics, but he has his own watchtower now. But he ends up ripping out Uatu's eye, so he gets all the secrets of the Marvel Universe, and he leaks out a bunch of secrets. So that's how you find out Angela's Thor's sister, and something about Iron Man and Hulk. There's a bunch of stuff. Nova finds out about his dad, and I believe, and there's stuff like that. It's a book that exists. But Samuel Jackson is playing Fury in the MCU. They wanted to change Fury around a little bit, which is probably one of the reasons why they kind of wrote him out of the universe, put him up on the moon, and then put him in that watchtower later on. Nick Fury Jr.'s first appearance would be in Battle Scars #1 with his first cameo in Fury Itself #7. Originally Marcus Johnson in Battle Scars #6. He is revealed to be Nick Fury Jr., but also not Fury's son, who ends up being Scorpio. He's eventually rolled into the Secret Avengers, but since in current comics, S.H.I.E.L.D. and Hydra don't really exist anymore, so Fury Jr. kind of has nothing to do, has been unused completely. So Fury started out in Europe, battling in World War II, then he's a colonel in the CIA, and then head of S.H.I.E.L.D. Now, he's a crazed old man on a watchtower doing nothing, and his son, who I assume is supposed to replace him, has done nothing because Nick Spencer destroyed S.H.I.E.L.D. and Cap for some reason. Good job, Marvel. Did I miss any important major Fury issues? I feel like I ran through those really quick. There was a lot of books, but the thing is, Nick Fury, there's only a handful of real classic stories. He's got a couple cool characters and cool appearances, but there's no, all the Hydra stuff, the classic stuff is in Captain America. Nick Fury's not in a lot of Captain America, surprisingly enough. And so there's not a lot of huge Nick Fury books. And the European stories, albeit a little bit dated, there's some great reads, there's some great reads throughout that series, especially when Nick Fury has to challenge his own morality. But there's nothing crazy going on. And so I guess that's kind of why we sped around through these. But do you have any of these? Like I said, did I miss any? Which issues do you have? Let me know in the comments down below. If you're not already, follow me here on Facebook and Instagram for more daily content. Let me know down below also, which character should I do a history of next? I've done Silver Surfer. Then I did all the 3NC crossovers. That was kind of semi in the same vein of history of. And then I did Hawkman, and now I'm back to Marvel. So it seems like if I do Marvel, Independent, DC, Marvel, Independent, DC, it's kind of a good grip. So what's the next Independent character I should do? What's the next Marvel character I should do? What's the next DC character I should do? Let me know down below. And, of course, click that like button. It helps the algorithm, helps push these videos a little bit more. Ring that bell so you know when new videos drop. Click the subscription button, of course, to support the channel. All is much appreciated. And then follow the Instagram and Facebook, where I got all kinds of stuff coming out on there. I got daily videos coming out on YouTube, full-length videos coming out once or twice a week. And then, of course, on Instagram and Facebook, I've got a series called Tales from a Hunt, where I talk about going out and hunting for these books, stuff I ran into, stuff I didn't buy, people I saw, fun stories I have. So I like posting that on there. And then, YouTube usually gets the more full hauls and a little bit of stories and videos like this. And then, of course, Facebook group Fandoms Unleashed. You see behind the scenes look at Connor's comics, great discussions, talk about comic books, movies, TV shows, all kinds of stuff. So all that's linked down in the description. Until next time, peace.